Good afternoon, and thanks for having us in. Just coming into our newsroom, a former Canton nurse admits to stealing opioids from work. Today in federal court, Brittany Enstad pleaded guilty to illegally obtaining the medication. For 5 months in 2022, Enstad admits removing OxyContin from packages and replaced it with other medications, including melatonin and acetaminophen. Under a plea agreement, she faces up to 4 years behind bars. A sentencing date has not been set. According to the state, her nursing license is currently suspended in South Dakota. Also new this midday, a former state senator plans to challenge U.S. Congressman Dusty Johnson. Just minutes ago, Cheryl Johnson announced she's running for South Dakota's lone seat in the U.S. House. We'll take a closer look at her political background and goals tonight on KELOLAND News. It's moving day for the Summit League. Staff spent the morning making the temporary move from their headquarters at the Sanford Sports Complex to the Premier Center for the Summit League Basketball Championships. With 9 teams in the men's and women's brackets, this year's tournament will once again feature a 5th day of action.
There's so much parity right now in our basketball programs, and so there's not a lot of difference between seeds. So that opportunity for everybody to come and play for a chance is important.
The Summit League Basketball Championships tip off on Friday at the Premier Center in Sioux Falls. The women's play-in game featuring Kansas City and Omaha begins at 4:30, followed by the Oral Roberts and USD men at 7. In weather, it's warm and it's windy, and that kind of summarizes what we're looking at, right, Megan?
That it does, Dan, and we have hardly any rain in the short-term forecast to fix those dry conditions. Right now, some thick clouds in Sioux Falls. We're at 51 degrees, that south wind at 23 miles an hour. And as we head around the region, we have thick clouds in Rapid City, a little bit cooler at 40 degrees, now a north wind at 22. Here is a look at those current temperatures. We have 60 right now in Winter, 58 in Huron and Mitchell, 51 in Watertown, 28 in Mobridge, and 38 degrees in Custer. And we are warm in eastern KELOLAND due to the stronger south wind bringing in that warm air. Northwestern South Dakota is cooler due to that north wind bringing in some cooler air. Everybody has a strong wind right now at 15 to 30 miles an hour, with some of those wind gusts in the past hour reaching 35 to 45 miles an hour, like that 46 in Mitchell and Huron and in Watertown, 37 miles an hour in Sioux Falls in the last hour, and 44 miles an hour in Winter. Because we have those very strong winds and very dry conditions, we do have a red flag warning in effect through this evening for that area in red. If a fire does get started outside, it can spread very quickly. So we are watching a few clouds fill in the area. We're not expecting much to come out of these clouds. We could see a few very light rain showers, mainly in northeastern KELOLAND as we head into the later parts of this afternoon. Windy and 57 the high for Sioux Falls, 54 in Aberdeen with those light rain showers, 51 in Pierre, and a cooler 46 in Rapid City. Then for tonight, the winds do die down. We do have a few clouds fill in. We could see a few light sprinkles in Sioux Falls, 32 the low, 19 in Aberdeen, 23 in Pierre, and 31 in Rapid City. Tomorrow we'll keep the clouds around, we'll keep our mostly light winds, and we'll keep our temperatures a little bit cooler. 46 with a few light rain showers in Sioux Falls, 38 in Aberdeen, 39 in Pierre, and 36 in Rapid City. But we have sunshine and warm temperatures coming right back for the weekend. We'll take a look at that in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Megan. The child care crisis has been making headlines for years now, but it's once again one of the biggest stories of 2024. A bill to create a statewide child care study failed to pass through the state legislature this session. In Sioux Falls, city council discussions to create a child care advocate position this January have now ended, while government officials from the local to the federal level recognize affordable and available childcare is at a crisis level. Many families are still struggling to make their careers and families work.
You know, he needs to eat, he needs his diaper changed, he needs somebody to actually just pay attention to him. And trying to do that while running a store space is also hard, but you know, we figure it out. I don't know what else to do because it's just expensive.
Tonight, the creative solutions many families are having to make as childcare costs and wait lists for available spots just keep rising. The impact on parents, that just isn't changing, is our focus in tonight's Eye on KELOLAND at 10. In national developments, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley has suspended her campaign for the Republican presidential nomination following former President Donald Trump's commanding victories in all but one of yesterday's Super Tuesday contests. With no major challenger, current President Joe Biden dominated on the Democratic side. The results point to a likely rematch between Biden and Trump in November. Skylar Henry reports.
Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley announced she's suspending her campaign for the Republican presidential nomination.
Although I will no longer be a candidate, I will not stop using my voice for the things I believe in.
Haley, the last major GOP challenger to former President Trump, is dropping out following his decisive Super Tuesday victories in almost every state that held a primary.
They call it Super Tuesday for a reason. This is a big one.
In her speech Wednesday, Haley notably did not endorse the former president.
It is now up to Donald Trump to earn the votes of those in our party and beyond it who did not support him. And I hope he does that.
During his victory speech Tuesday night, the former president focused on his all but certain general election rematch with President Biden.
November 5th is going to go down as the single most important day in the history of our country.
The former president also called for unity, but it's unclear how many of Haley's supporters he'll pick up.
It hurts my soul to say that I will vote for Joe Biden over Donald Trump.
President Biden dominated Super Tuesday on the Democratic side, but not all Democrats are behind him. In Minnesota, those protesting his handling of the Israel-Hamas war voted uncommitted.
We did this for the people of Gaza. We did it for the children of Gaza.
Organizers there and in other states are calling on Biden to back a permanent ceasefire or else risk losing their support in November. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
This morning, Biden's campaign praised Haley for being willing to speak about Trump. Trump picked up an endorsement from outgoing Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell.